Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. I'm going to share with you some opinions having to do with XRP price because I believe very strongly that XRP is very underpriced. I believe that the idea of XRP hitting $20 is not insane. And I'm going to make my case for that. And I'm going to share with you this article as well from Cointelegraph, Stealth Phase Over, ? Which is why my voice goes up like this, inflections, yes. Why Wall Street FOMO will make $20,000 Bitcoin look cheap. And yes, I think Bitcoin is underpriced too. Now, I do want to be clear from the beginning, especially since we're talking about price stuff here in this video. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you absolutely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just your everyday Joe Schmo enthusiast. I have fun talking about this stuff and engaging with the XRP community and making YouTube videos as a for fun hobby. That is all that it is, to be super duper clear. I'd feel bad if I didn't, in every video, mention that at least once, because I don't want somebody or anyone to think that I'm someone or something that I'm not. Before we go any further, if you would please, ever so delicately tap that like button. And also, if you're a fan of the idea of XRP hitting $20, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, because at least you'll be in good company, I can assure you of that. I think we're on the same page here if you're listening to this, unless you are the occasional Bitcoin maxi troll that stops by to say, Bitcoin, Ripple centralized, go away, Mr. Bitcoin maxi troll, ain't nobody got time for that. As I record this, XRP's it's on the run a little bit. It actually is. It's at 27.2 cents. Bitcoin at $15,955, so it's dipped back below the $16,000 mark. Probably temporary, certainly temporary. It's more like, in my opinion, but it's more like, to what degree is it temporary? When will it be peaking back above? Who knows? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But the market cap for the asset class, $458 billion. Bitcoin dominance, mostly sideways the last few days at 64.47%. And so there's a number of things that I want to share with you here. And I do want to stress again, just this idea that there's almost no money in this freaking asset class and almost nobody knows about it. There's almost zero adoption. And on top of all of that, we're here before Wall Street. You know, how many Wall Street firms own Bitcoin? Like 2 or 3 or whatever. Like effectively none. You know, at least that has been made public. But you'd think. If there were other publicly traded companies that had already taken the dive into this, that we'd probably know about. Like something like that would probably need to be made public. And so with a relative high level of confidence, I think we can state that there's only a few. But I think that there's going to be a whole of, especially if you fast forward like 12, 18, I'd say actually this, let's say 12 to 24 months from now, I think you're going to see a whole bunch more publicly traded companies invest into Bitcoin, and that's just going to spur adoption because look, this matters to us as the XRP community members because even if, let's say, that all of the publicly traded companies over the next 2-3 years, whatever, the only crypto they invest in is Bitcoin. Do you understand what that's going to do to the space in terms of new money coming in and new more attention coming to the space? Because altcoins are going to persist. There will never be one coin to rule them all. So even if it's an if, but even if over the next few years, all that money from publicly traded companies only flows into Bitcoin, do you know what that's going to do for the price action of XRP? Like, nobody's paying attention to this. You've got people running up the stock market. It's effectively at all-time highs. And what's it going to take to double your investment there versus doubling the investment in Bitcoin or XRP? It's not even close. Way less money has to flow into Bitcoin for that effect. Way less money, like way less money has to flow into XRP to get that effect. And you consider right now, Bitcoin market cap a little shy of 300 billion, XRP market cap at 12.3 billion. So about 24 times as a bigger market cap for getting. So you can just imagine how 24 times as much money would have to flow in or I'm sorry, am I wording that? Did I word that backwards? Yeah, to get, I think my brain just broke. Damn it. This happens from time to time. Hopefully you got kind of the cut of my jib. I'm just saying that, to get a doubling effect here with XRP, you need a market cap of like, just call it like a little less than 25 billion, right? And so, yeah, to catch up to Bitcoin's market cap, I think that's what I was trying to get. Yeah, you'd have to go like 24 times that. And so, in order to get a 24-fold increase for XRP, way easier than get a 24-fold increase for Bitcoin. And so even if Bitcoin, I apologize for the brain misfiring there. It's like 6 of my 8 cylinders were working properly at the moment. But you see, even if Bitcoin runs wild, and even if XRP lags behind for some period of time, like we did see for half a year in 2017, from my perspective, it's like, so what? Let it be what it is. I still think it's going to have its day in the sun here, and given that there's real world utility, as long as that persists, as long as there's real value being driven, actual usage, it's never going to go away anyway, in my humble opinion. I don't see how it could. If humans are valuing it, which is different than price, if they value it for its utility, why would it suddenly not deserve to have a price associated with it? Why would it be the case that institutions coming into the space and new retail investors recognizing that, oh my gosh, it's getting used, why would that not positively, in the long term, why would that not positively impact the price of XRP? And then the real world utility with XRP having to be held by someone in order for these pools of liquidity to exist so that XRP can functionally be used as a bridge currency. All of these things matter. And here's a tweet from DIY Investing who wrote the following. While everyone will sit there and say how, I'm going to censor this, how bad XRP looks, it's on your screen though, the trend is already flipping towards the bulls. Since 2018, we have seen nothing but lower lows and lower highs, but since COVID, that trend has shifted. With the massive inverse head and shoulder forming, I see 50 cents. And here's the chart that he has associated with this. I'm going to blow it up for just a moment in case you care to take a look at this. And so here's what he's illustrating. Downtrend, 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 until basically March. Yeah, basically March. And now we've been seeing for over half a year, so call it roughly 8 months, we've been seeing an upward trend for the first time since the bear market began. First time. Finally here. And it did take years to get there, as I anticipated that it would. That was my guess, because even in 2018, new to the space, fine, I understood market cycles, right? I figured that out, and I thought, this might be a while. But really, even just waiting a few years after such a crazy run-up like we saw in 2017, waiting a few years, to me, not that bad. I understand people can get impatient, but, it's just emotional humans being emotional humans. To me, it's like, whatever. I'm just going to sit here and be Mr. Patient because I think it's all going to come back around, and that's why I've been dollar cost averaging in for 3 freaking years. And I'm so glad that I have. I want exposure to this volatile asset class, and I'm thankful for the volatility. Even though I know it can bite you in the short term, for me it doesn't matter because I'm not going to sell when it goes down. I'm not going to emotionally buy or sell, period. I think that makes no damn sense on the freaking planet. And then there's this tweet from Plan B, who, by the way, massive following. 152,100 followers all up on the Twitters. And here's what he wrote. If you missed 2013 and 2017 bull markets, current #Bitcoin price rise to $16,000 is just a small taste of what will come next. We are just warming up. And so that's why, for me, I want Bitcoin to do well, and I hope that you do too. I don't think it makes sense to be an XRP maximalist or a maximalist of Bitcoin or any coin. I just want to see the space do well. And even if that means Bitcoin right now leading everything, or even if it means Bitcoin leading everything forever, fine. I just want a bigger pie so that I can get mine. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want right here. And this is, by the way, I'll just blow this up in case you want to look at this too. This is the chart that Plan B had associated with that particular tweet. And I think he's right. And I think that people are seeing this, and money is going to be pouring in like crazy. And so that brings me to this piece now. And this is why I think, mind you, $20 XRP, let me say this too before going any further. You understand, that would only be roughly a $900 billion market cap. And it doesn't mean $900 billion goes into XRP. Way less than that would have to flow in. The net inflow of cash required to get XRP at that market cap, oh my gosh, it's nothing compared to what the typical person who doesn't understand market cap thinks it would be. Because market cap is simply the way that they calculate it in crypto, and I dispute this, but they're taking the circulating supply, which is 45 billion in the case of XRP, times the market price. So if you do 45 billion times a XRP price of 20, you get it's 900 billion, right? And so I don't think that's right. That's a different conversation. I don't think that's the right way to calculate market cap, but I'm not going to get into it in this video. I've talked about it in the past. I've said my piece. But that's fine. We can agree to disagree. That's fine. suffice it to say, almost no money has to pour in, and these are scarce assets, and almost no humans on the planet have any exposure to this asset class, and we already saw at the peak of this asset class in, I guess was it late 2017? It must have been not 2018 in January. Was it probably, I'm guessing the peak must have been December. I guess technically I'd have to look, but it must have been, right? Because that's when Bitcoin hit its peak and that had the biggest market cap. But the asset class was up to somewhere in the neighborhood of 850 billion. That's nothing. That's like nothing. This is by far the smallest asset class on the planet, and I only see things increasing. Again, this is my unprofessional opinion, which is why I was so clear at the beginning. But I am excited about this. I do see potential here, and if I'm wrong, fine. Maybe I lose everything because it's risky to invest, especially in crypto. Got it. But I'm an adult, I'm wearing my big boy pants, and I could not be more optimistic for the future. This is the most optimistic I've ever felt about this asset class, and that comes with time and because what comes with time, wisdom and learning facts over, for me, the case is 3 years now. The more I learn, the more confident I am that I am hitting the nail on the head here. That's how I honestly feel. But into this piece, check this out. The year 2020 sucked for pretty much everyone. You got to appreciate that opening sentence. Yes, indeed, 2020, I admit it is indeed one dumpster fire of a year. Anyway, unless you're holding Bitcoin, that is. The price of Bitcoin is up 125% year to date, making it once again the best performing asset, just as it has been for the past decade. Strangely enough, the public seems completely oblivious to this fact. But not everyone is ignoring Bitcoin's latest rally above $16,000. Currently, the price is just 20% shy of its all-time high. Now, this I agree with. Everybody's sitting on the sidelines, and even if they do know of the asset class, they're too scared to invest, perhaps, if they've not done their research and understood market cycles and the utility behind all of this. And there you go. I got it. Typical investor, right? But there is something to this. And then they have the subheading, Wall Street is not here yet. Considering the impressive year Bitcoin is having, it's not surprising that Wall Street is now starting to realize that the world's first decentralized cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere. Remember 2017? That historic Bitcoin price rally was largely driven by retail traders, the average Joe, who were anticipating a Wall Street stampede alongside the frenzy of new tokens minted via initial coin offerings. At the same time, the CME introduced their cash-settled Bitcoin futures right at the peak in December 2017, and pop! Bitcoin price dropped sharply, and the following months and the hype fizzled into a multi-year bear market. Obituaries from the news media made the average Joe eat the loss, and many wrote Bitcoin off as just another bubble that burst. Google searches for Bitcoin pretty much tell the whole story. And by the way, if you're not driving, feel free to take a look at your screen right there, because Cointelegraph included a fun chart to look at. But in 2020, the public searches for Bitcoin no longer reflect Bitcoin as its price has decoupled. What's more interesting is that even Wall Street still remains largely on the sidelines, suggesting that Bitcoin may be very undervalued at $16,000 and with a market cap of $297 billion. However, the latest data suggests that this is already beginning to change. And so here's the thing, here's one of the fundamental changes I think you're going to see. Businesses that have reserves, Treasury reserves, and United States dollars, or pick your fiat currency. I'm just going to say United States dollars for the purpose of this video. It's melting away. If you're just holding United States dollars, it's just melting away. We can argue and debate about the crypto that would be best suited for this use case as a store of value, but suffice it to say, I think it'd be as obvious, it's just the beginning now. Publicly traded companies are recognizing this, and if they have cash reserves, there are only so many places you can put it. And if you want the a provably scarce asset, in some cases, depending on the cryptocurrency you're talking about, sometimes deflationary, it makes much more sense to have Bitcoin or XRP or just in general crypto treasury reserves as opposed to having that in United States dollar. It just makes all the logical sense in the world. And increasingly, businesses are going to see this. And what do you think that's going to mean in terms of the inflow of cash for this space? And that's why I say XRP and Bitcoin and really the asset class as a whole is supremely undervalued, while other markets are overvalued, I would say. Other markets are in bubble territory. The crypto asset class, as I record this today, in my opinion, is not in bubble territory. I think it will be in the future, and I think the bubble will pop again, and I think there will be another big retracement, but I think that we're nowhere near that. That's my humble opinion. Piece continues. Wall Street is not here yet. Gemini Exchange co-founder Cameron Winklevoss explained last month, quote, institutions aren't in Bitcoin right now. It's been a retail phenomenon for the last decade, so Wall Street talks about it. They're aware of Bitcoin, but they're not really in it from our perspective, but it's starting to happen. Now, I don't agree with the Winklevoss things on everything in crypto. That's an understatement, but I think they're hitting the nail on the head on this, and we're seeing the beginnings of institutions and publicly traded companies really increase their interest and, in many instances, exposure to the cryptocurrency asset class. And that's a net plus for XRP holders, even if the money flows directly into Bitcoin. Hey, we see how humans are behaving right now. The altcoin market will follow, and there is real utility to XRP. And at some point in the future, I still firmly believe that there will be a greater importance weighted in terms of utility of any cryptocurrency that's going to have staying power. And that's a great thing for XRP, because it is being used when most of the thousands of cryptocurrencies on the planet today don't do a damn thing. That's what Moon Lambo says. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.